of everything.
Ways to use these things. We can't stop humans doing things that they want to do.
Do you think there's a safe way to use heroin?
Yes, of course
You're
there
still
is.
gonna get hooked on it hard.
Bro, I don't know. There's still safe ways to use everything.
But they come up with them, yeah.
Cocaine, all of these drugs, LSD, they all have their properties, yeah? And there's all ways that they could be administered for certain specific reasons. I'm not saying we all need to be taking it, but to criminalize something, yeah, even for recreation, bro, like, I don't think we should be able to ban anything. Because all these substances exist. When you go into the average kitchen, yeah, it's full of toxins. When you go into the average kitchen, and when you're mixing these things, that people are mixing that stuff up and getting high and dying. But we're not saying let's outlaw bleach.
Nah, but
You know what I mean?
But we do.
How many fires have been started with lighters? We're not saying let's outlaw lighters.
I'm with you.
Alcohol should be banned. If they're going to ban weed, ban alcohol.
I don't agree. I don't think nothing should be banned.
They should.
Yeah, but I tried to make that point.
Well, let me tell you.
And weed doesn't F up your mind. It's the person you got to be in control of what you're smoking. That's all I'm saying. Well, you know what you're doing. You got to
with better regulation, we can have a chain of. Do you know what I mean? So if the brother Tiger gives me a bad draw, I can go back to him and say, yo, I got this from you. Like, do you know what I mean? Whereas now we're forcing people underground to go and pick up from Tom, Dick and Harry. This is where we're running into problems. People putting all kinds of stuff in there. We don't know. And plus, if we regulate the growing and make it profitable, people are going to take care to make sure that they've got the right things in there. People are putting all kinds of stuff in their weed just to get a quick flip over, do you know what I mean? Yeah, and that's detrimental to people's health. So I just feel like there's no way we're not going to lock up everyone that smokes a plant. Love. We're in 2019. How are we all talking about pride and I can be an animal and I can be a woman if I want to, and we can't smoke a plant. Come on, bro. Come on, we're going backwards.
Was he a vindictive person? Did he bring
And the other thing is certain cultures that have history of smoking weed, yeah.
Opium,
You can't stop them. You get
Just join
Mushrooms, peyote, ayahuasca. What's ayahuasca, peyote, all of these psychedelic, psychoactive substances from the beginning of time, we've been interacting with them as humans, and I don't think a third party should be able to tell me what I can and can't.
He's got vices, and he said it. I don't want to say it on camera, but he has vices, and he said I got vices. So why are you arguing this right now?
Why am I?
Is his vice detrimental?
No, because the thing is,
His vice is more hardcore than our vice. So come on, bro.
well, I'll answer anything.
So what's your vice then?
No, but you
I
don't.
don't want to
The
make
last thing you
Allow on camera still.
the last thing you asked me.
Just to hear your psychology on where you stand on
Because
substances.
the last thing you asked me was so miles away from what you're asking now. You move so quickly. Nah, bro, come on.
You was telling me,
Come on,
though.
let's not.
You was telling me.
nah,
Alright, but
bro,
you
because
don't
I never even said that, bro.
Come on, bro.
When did I say that?
Sam, you never heard that, yeah?
He said he's got. I don't want to speak on
When
the
did I
camera
say
and
I
thing.
took
I'll
coke,
speak after
bro?
the camera. No, he didn't say he does that. He
Yeah,
said
I
he'll
never
fight
said,
my
I
back.
never said
I
you do
think-
that.
I think
never
coke
said
should
you
be
do that.
legal,
I
bro.
said you have a little vice. You get me? So come on, bro.
No.
the coca leaf, man. I don't-
We were talking about Dro, yeah?
Yeah.
And he asked me, should Bob Marley be outlawed? Well, let me ask you something. You know when the banker in the city, he goes and picks up some cocaine from the dealer?
I don't know, but you telling me.
Do you think these things happen?
I don't know.
You don't know. Do you think these
I'm
things happen?
oblivious.
Pardon?
Well, then that's your issue.
Do I think-
Do you think that like bankers in the city do coke?
Yes.
Of course they do.
Thank you.
Of course they fucking do.
They know, so you're better off asking him.
Wall Street and all
I
that
think
shit.
they do, yeah.
And he picks up from the shop and he thinks, you know what, man, my use of this and the pleasure I'm going to get is more important than the law, and second of all, it's more important than the international crime organization that I produce demand for. Do you think you're different from that user?
I didn't really get that. Bring that back to me. The bank user, he says
Forget the bank user.
his use of drugs. His use of drugs goes what? Before the law.
So anyone who picks up a drug, that's what I'm trying to say. Forget coke, forget weed. Anyone who picks up a drug is doing so because they put their own self-pleasure, because you're making a point about medicinal, we can talk about that, I'm with it. This isn't how most people do drugs. Most people do drugs to have a good time. So whether it's the coke snorter, the heroin injector, or the Dro smoker, everyone is picking up these drugs.
The cigarette smoker,
No, because that's not
the
illegal.
alcohol drinker.
We can talk about
they're drugs.
Drug, yeah, nicotine.
They are.
And they kill more as well.
You know, even when they're regulated, they kill. You see what I'm
you-
saying?
or you just
you
want-
see what I'm saying?
So,
Okay.
what are you saying? No, but it's the ones that are
It's safer
regulated.
when it's
what I'm saying,
regulated.
'cause you don't let me
It's
finish,
the ones
man.
that are regulated, yeah, that are doing the killing. Yeah, weed is not killing anyone.
Can I talk? cocaine, a guy wants to do cocaine, a guy wants to do ecstasy, a guy wants to smoke a zoot. They all go to the shutter and they believe at that point that their self-pleasure is more important than any sort of law in place. And their self-pleasure, because that's all it is, the self-pleasure is more important than contributing to the criminal trade that it does. What do you think about that? What do you think about that? That's the moral point.
I don't know. I think morally, my choice to smoke weed is not contributing to the legal.
You don't think that?
No.
Well, it only contributes to that.
That's your belief, though.
Because it's legal.
It's fact. Why is it not?
If you do realise, you don't think how there's an international trade around drugs.
So what's the best way to dismantle that?
I'm asking you. No.
There's an international trade around drugs.
Agreed.
Yes.
And the demand contributes to the supply.
And what's creating
Is that yes or
what's
no?
creating the demand?
Is that yes or a no, though?
Yes.
Right. Good. Did you know that there's an increasing amount of cocaine consumption in the UK?
Okay.
More than ever.
And
It seems to be correlated with the amount of knife crime. Make of that what you will. Okay,
bro.
I was
Brother,
waiting for that.
I'm not gonna lie to you,
But you
bro.
know why? No, hold on.
I'm not gonna lie to you. Wait.
Don't lie
Let
to
me
me
talk.
yet. Don't lie to me yet.
Wait.
So
1 second, bro. You went on for a bit. You did go on for a bit,
fair
yeah? Bro, I'm not gonna lie to you, yeah? I was patient listening to this whole thing about, it's not making any sense, bro. If I wanna smoke weed, if you wanna eat bread, if they wanna eat hot dogs that are killing each other, if they wanna have KFC and McDonald's, yeah, where people are dying from heart attacks, diabetes, and all these mad diseases, obesity that's costing the taxpayer millions and billions and billions and billions, yeah? If those things are illegal, then my choice to smoke weed on my own, don't try and dramatize it or put some kind of moral stigma. Oh yeah, because you're contributing to it. Bro, what about McDonald's?
Do you want to talk about
What
that?
about McDonald's?
You're doing what you did earlier.
No, but I'm just letting you know that your
Can we
barometer.
talk about drugs?
Yeah, but I'm trying to give you perspective,
We can
bro.
talk about that. But it's
Listen,
not
I'm
really
giving you
the
perspective.
point,
We're
man.
talking about things that cause harm to people and people's right to ingest what they want. Yeah? So it's all on the same playing field. You might want to talk about crow, I might want to talk about alcohol, but what we're talking about is, does a human have a right to take what they want? When they want? Do they have a right? Yes or no?
hilarious.
And I believe that they do. Your whole moral conjecture of, it doesn't make sense, fam.
All right, let me ask you then. Are there companies, legal companies, that you don't fund because you don't agree with their practices or what they produce? Thank you. Drug industry is one of them for me.
For you.
Thank you.
But is it not a choice for
Okay,
others to go there?
so
But is it not
I'm
a choice
done.
for others? Should it not be a free choice for others?
And I'm making my point,
Yeah.
what I believe.
Should it
I
not
ain't
be a
trying
free
to
choice
change
for
you.
others?
You do you, bro.
No, but we're
I'm trying to
talking
put
about
my
it.
point out there, yeah? So forget McDonald's, I've dealt with that now. So every time you pick up, or a Coke guy picks up, or whatever, they're contributing to an international. Say my opinion.
that's
is-
not
The best way to do
Oh,
it.
stop.
The
You
best
just-
way to do it is the best way to deal with it is this, bro.
Go on, you tell me.
Decriminalize it, yeah, and then we won't be funding any criminals.
Right.
Done. And then we can
So-
save money and move on.
So-
Because people are gonna smoke and take whatever they
Introduce-
want. Yeah. Apart from you, that's gonna stay within
So
the law.
what do you
But
think
most
of-
people are gonna take what they want.
What do you think about alcohol and tobacco?
He buns weed. I don't know.
What do you think of alcohol and tobacco?
What about it? Think they're killers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Regulated, legalized?
I think
What do
they
you
should be free.
Really?
Yeah,
You reckon
yeah.
that would stop it?
I'm not trying to stop
But
people
bro,
drinking
'cause
alcohol.
look, let me say something.
I'm
now.
not trying to stop
he
people
just tried to
smoking.
give his conclusion as to how to
Yeah.
decrease-
Decriminalize it.
Yeah, right.
Legalize it.
What did decriminalization or legalization do for alcohol and tobacco?
What do you mean? What did it do for?
What is it doing for everyone?
What do you mean? What did it do for everyone?
What is it doing for everyone?
I don't get what you mean. What it's doing for everyone?
Is alcohol clearly a harm in today's society?
Yes.
Thank you. And you don't think that all the things that you're about to legalize would then take on a similar position
No.
in society? Why not?
No,
Why
because
not?
I think it's advertising. I don't think it's decriminalizing alcohol. I think it's advertising it, putting it on the front of every match, putting it on the
Cannabis
channels,
is more-
making it. Listen,
man.
pumping millions and pumping billions into promoting it. Yeah, putting it in movies. Yeah, putting it in kids' cartoons. Oh yeah, we're having beer. Or yeah, these are the things making the packaging look all sexy and appealing. The official Budweiser, the official sponsor, blah blah blah. That is what it is. Rich people trying to make money off things that make us sick.
Yeah.
So now what I'm saying
100%.
is, guess what though?
What
When it
makes
comes
you
to
think
cannabis,
they won't do that about cannabis, cocaine,
what
and
makes you
heroin,
think they're not
and
already
everything else
doing
you're
that,
trying
bro?
to legalize?
They're already doing it.
So
they
you-
already did. I think
So you're just going
personally.
to give them more of an opportunity
what
to do
I'm
so.
trying to do.
Think ahead.
What I'm trying to do.
You're just thinking about
bro,
the short term.
bro,
Think ahead.
I'm trying to stop loads of people, yeah, going to jail, getting criminal records, and being criminalized for doing something that they choose to do. we're on two different wavelengths, bro.
Can you just answer the question though? If you decriminalise all the things you just said, what makes you think they won't take on the same position in society that everything else does, like alcohol and tobacco? What makes you think that?
This is conjecture. Because when we go to Amsterdam, we look at their levels of substance abuse, and they're way down compared to us.
So you're just like, imagine alcohol wasn't illegal.
So I don't even get it.
When people are making their own alcohol, it'd be much more toxic, wouldn't it?
You made
when
a
you
point
control
about
it, it's less toxic.
You want to regulate it.
Potentially.
You're talking about health issues, so we're saying, okay, if you want to, let's regulate it then. You're not happy with that though.
Yeah, but you're sort
No.
of...
What it is, he wants
You
no one
want
to
your
smoke
cake
weed.
and eat it.
He wants no one to smoke weed. That's what I think. He wants no one to smoke weed.
You want your cake and eat
He
it.
thinks that you shouldn't smoke weed.
You're supposed to be on my side.
No, he's just giving his opinion.
Be honest, innit? That's what you think. That
You know
no one
what I
should
mean?
smoke weed, innit? Be honest.
say that
Like, do you think that no one should smoke weed? in
I
this
think
country?
weed has a lot of benefits, but not in the current way it's used, if that's what you're trying to
But
ask.
it's used in all different ways by all different people.
Mostly by people who want to get high and have a good time.
But
And
what I'm
that's my
saying is,
point.
people baking it,
want to
listen,
just get
people
high
taking the
at
oil,
the expense of...
bro. People baking it, people taking the oil, people eating it, people doing all kinds of things that they're allowed to do what they want to do with it. It's simple.
It's
fam.
illegal though. How are they allowed to do what they want to do
Because
with
to
it?
be honest, I think people's
you
choice.
just think it.
Yeah.
You think because it should be legal that you're going to treat it as if it's legal.
Yeah.
Well, it is.
Even
Nobody
though
cares.
That's the only way
but
that
if
you
a
get.
Fed comes,
That's the
what are you
only
gonna
way
do?
we get reform.
What are you gonna do?
For people like me, that's the only reason why we get reform. Because others it's like, oh, the law says so, and before you know it, we're like, yeah, he's 3/5 of the human being because the law says so, and no one wants to fight against it.
well,
When something ain't right, it's not right, and stopping people from having their own personal choice. This is my opinion, isn't right. That's
Fair
it.
enough, but I just think certain things should be restricted. I'll give you a good. You brought up poison and food earlier. You're lucky to live in the UK, for example, because our food regulation is so strict that there's so much shit that Chinese people are forced to eat, which we don't. Thank God the UK done that for us.
Do you know some of the poorest countries have the best quality of food?
Exactly.
Yeah, not China.
Because it's
But,
organic. You get it organic, bro. Rather than all of this
but bro,
malarkey
that's,
around it.
I don't know, fair enough.
What?
But in other
Are you
countries,
telling me straight from the farm?
No,
Is
but-
that not organic, right? Back home.
yeah, but that's not,
In England, you can't buy raw milk. It's illegal to fucking buy raw milk. It's got medicinal qualities. You can't even buy
not
it.
true actually. You can get raw milk in
hard to buy,
Waitrose.
it's
You
hard
can get
to buy.
unpasteurized, unhomogenized milk in Waitrose. Fact, I'll put you onto it.
No, you can't get it.
Bro, you think I'm lying?
That's a new lick, yeah. That's a new lick.
Unpasteurized, unhomogenized milk is available in Waitrose.
Is it illegal or not? Raw milk.
Is what I'm saying raw? Unhomogenized, unpasteurized.
Straight from the cow.
There might be some conditions, I don't know, but I know you can't just buy
So
it.
the milk you
Straight
buy is
from the cow.
pasteurized and homogenized.
Straight from the cow.
I'm telling you that you can get unpasteurized, unhomogenized.
Straight from the
What
cow.
other process am I missing?
Is it straight from the cow?
What other process am I missing?
I'm asking you, is it straight from the cow? If
I
I go and look
I don't
into
think it is.
No, so then there's some kind of other process going on then.
Possibly,
Okay, well,
but it's
well,
not pasteurization or
well, it's
homogenization.
not raw enough for me
Get
then.
me?
Otherwise it goes
Yeah?
into-
Not raw enough for me.
All right, fair
Yeah?
enough.
Understand?
But where
If it
was
goes
we?
through a process,
Stop.
it's not
Forget
raw.
about milk. Wait, where was we? To get back onto track.
You weren't on track.
China,
You was
were
never
saying
on track.
about China making bad
you know
quality
I'm
of food.
You're not on track. You're not on track.
Yeah, China. Okay, so
About
fine.
the UK.
In the UK, there have been steps taken to make it illegal to have certain things put in our crops and our food. Are you not cool
Bro,
with that?
it's illegal
Let
to
me-
put
no.
spider
This
blood
guy
in
has been the
sweets,
most
bro.
outspoken for
Come on, fam.
legalization.
Like,
let me put
you
you
get me?
on. Go
At the end
on.
of the day, someone's company's got to cut checks.
Yo.
Yeah, these regulate.
Corporate apologist, man.
I'm not. I'm not.
Sounds like. What do you mean someone's got to cut
I'm
a
going
check?
against it, you idiot. What are you talking about? You can't even pay attention, bro. You get me? I'm
Bro,
saying
you don't
here.
need to call me an idiot,
Bro,
man.
you're just not
Let's
making no
just
sense,
relax.
bro.
Bro, let's just relax.
Don't call me a corporate apologist then, because that's an idiotic statement.
What did
if
you
you
say?
was listening to what I said.
Let's smoke a
What did you say
relax.
before
Innit?
that?
Let's not do that. And
You're
relax,
right.
bro.
Trust me.
Yeah,
Talk
so
to him. What did you say before that? Wasn't it about someone's got to cut a check?
yeah, that's
What,
why. That's
like
why.
corporations?
Yeah.
So how are you not a corporate apologist? How are you
I'm
gonna
not
call
saying
me
that's
an
a good
idiot
thing.
for saying that?
I'm not
That's
saying that-
exactly what you just did.
No, it ain't.
What do you mean by cut a check then?
I'm saying that they're making money off saying this is legal, this is not. Your company gets to regulate this. Your company doesn't get to do this. You get that.
Okay,
It's
fine.
all politics and money. Yeah. That's.
You've dug a grave. So what would your legalization do for them then?
How have I dug my grave, bro? Listen, I'm
What
not.
would your legalization
Everyone's
do?
confused right now, bro. You're making
You're
an
one of them.
argument that nobody's making, fam. Shush, bruv. Just let me finish talking, bruv. Because you're arguing against yourself. I was actually agreeing with you, and then you're like, oh, blah, 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 you dug yourself a grave because you refuse to listen. You're not saying anything interesting or smart, bro. you understand what I'm saying?
This ain't really real.
No,
from
come
you,
on, man.
This
Be
ain't
serious though, bro. You're literally refusing to listen and they're having an argument with
So
yourself.
this
Let's
guy
get back on
said
point. Let's
something.
get on point. Let's get back
Yeah,
on point.
thank you. This guy said someone's got to cut a check. They're making money from the laws. I'm asking you straight
I'm saying
up
it's not a good thing.
from your own
I'm saying
mouth.
this is why
Oh,
certain
see,
things
how
get
am I-
regulated
bro.
and certain things don't. Yeah, that's
Thank
what I'm
you.
saying. This is about. Let me tell you something. Yeah,
Let him
this
do
is
it, let him do it.
this is about like international trading. Like for instance, yeah, when we're talking about coming out of the Brexit, then Trump is talking about doing a deal with us, so we're getting food directly from them. Now, the food that comes directly from them obviously has loads of substances that we currently do not allow, but then they will make them allow. And what is that all about? That's all about
Someone's
money.
got to cut a check.
Someone's cutting checks.
Right.
They don't care
so
about
what
our
does
safety.
your legalization propose in that
For
form?
weed.
Who
For
would
weed.
cut the checks?
My
then?
legalization of weed.
Everything in your opinion.
If you can grow weed,
Who's gonna
you
cut-
can sell weed.
Oh, but
if you
who's-
can grow a mango, you can sell a mango.
Who's going to cut the checks?
That's it. That's what I'm saying.
Think about it. Who's
You
going to
understand
cut,
what I'm
who's
saying?
going to cut the checks?
You want it regulated. I personally just want it decriminalized and people left alone to do what they want to do. Yeah?
I don't wanna
to
cut
do what
you
they
off.
want to do. But you want to regulate it, then if you want to regulate it, then you have to go through certain regulating bodies. Yeah?
wanna cut
And they're the
you off.
ones that are going to be cutting checks. Because
wanna cut
for
you
me
off.
to get a license now
But
to
who's
grow,
gonna cut the
yeah,
check?
I have to go through your process, yeah, and then you lot are getting money for that, right? We all know. This is why they did. This is why they've done this process.
We talk about
yeah?
it all.
They've criminalized it. Yeah,
and cons.
made it counterculture, so everyone thinks it's popular. And now when they decriminalize it, they're going to be making all the money
Hard
out
to
of it.
say
innit?
right now, bro.
But
one
at
thing I
least
can
people ain't going to
definitely
be getting
say
arrested
is that the crime
for
should-
having
the law should be
a gram
enforced.
of weed on
Less
them.
people would smoke.
Or having a
Less
spliff, like I
children
saw
would
earlier. See, like we
But
saw a
in
man
terms of the
getting
long-term
arrested for a
plan,
spliff
I don't know.
earlier. That won't happen. Taxpayers' money will be safe.
Honestly,
You know what I mean?
Who's gonna cut the
Today,
check?
taxpayers' money would have been safe, and then maybe a paedophile might have been afraid because there's police actually with stuff to do, like they're looking for me now. Instead of just decriminalizing our community. The people that smoke weed, the people that look at the stats. Who's going to jail for marijuana possession? We know white men are 10 times more likely to have banned substances on their possession. Yeah? But black men are twice as likely to be stopped and searched. So we already know who's falling foul of these laws in the first place. So to decriminalize it, I think makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, but who would cut the check once it's decriminalized? Where does all the trade money go? All the current illegal trade, where would it go?
Essentially back to African Asia.
Back to
You
the
don't
growers.
know.
Back to the
Okay,
growers.
okay,
innit?
back to the
Back to the
People can just grow it in the
If
house.
you can grow it, you can make money from
garden,
it.
you
That's
can grow it.
personal.
I mean,
This is like companies
I know
growing.
people that grow weed and they make money from it. I don't know what else to
illegally.
say.
You can't do that legally. And
But
if you legalize it,
once it's decriminalized, then you will be able to do it. It'll be another trade, and people will be able to make money out here.
now he said
Without
he doesn't
being
know. He said, I don't
stigmatized.
know what would happen. I'll tell you what would happen. The same thing that happens with every industry in this country. We live in a country which is dictated by market forces. Like you said, someone's got to cut a check, right? What makes you think these big healthcare companies won't make millions off this?
They're already making millions. UK is the #1 supplier of medical marijuana in the world.
Talking about the illegal trade. If that becomes decriminalized, that trade money will go somewhere, correct?
Bro, right about now, only one set of people are making money from the legal trade. Yeah? When we decriminalize it, and then everyone can make money, yes, they're going to make more money, but then the little man on the road might be able to make something as well.
No evidence of that at all. Do you know why?
What do you mean?
If you,
All right, there's evidence. I'll give you evidence in California. I'll show you how it's worked over there. But this is a good example of a Western culture that has decriminalized marijuana. Or do you want to just pick out theories in your head, or do we want to look at people that's actually done it?
Where has the money gone then?
It's been distributed by the
Equally,
regulating
yeah.
companies. I'm not saying. I never said
Come
that.
on, man, you're
I
talking
never
about the
said that.
creation of monopolies.
Listen, bro.
issues
At
with
the end
that
of the
one.
day,
Sorry,
at the end of
sorry.
the day, at the end of the day, fam, yeah, this is one of the major issues, yeah. In America, you do have rich white people making money off marijuana, while poor black people are still serving sentences, yeah, in states where it's been decriminalized, yeah. We know this. However, I still know examples of young black individuals, yeah, Asians that go out, they get their money together, they get a bit of land, they grow their shit, they package it, they win Cannabis World Cups, they make money, and they do their fucking thing. Get me? Yeah? Get me? We know the food industry and the alcohol industry is being regulated. But would I stop you from opening a newsagents and be supporting it or off license? No. It won't.
You're talking about, you're making too many different points.
Am I making sense?
Yes.
What the fuck is wrong with you, bro?
I beg your why are you so impatient to be so rude to me?
Like, bro, it's
You
a
don't like
wearing
the
process,
argument.
bro.
You don't like the argument.
We don't have an
I'll tell you why
argument.
he's a
We
little
don't
bit
have one.
confused, yeah? Because he makes the point about production and then opening up an off license. Bro, off license don't create the fucking alcohol they sell. If you think something's suddenly going to be legalized, do you think
They got the craft beer industry, yeah? Salute to all the independent beer makers, yeah?
Right.
Big them up.
So weed becomes
Say nothing, bro.
legal,
Whatever, bro.
and apparently it's. You reckon you can grow your own?
This hairstyle, Mohit, man.
You reckon you can
Yeah.
grow your own wheat
Yeah.
and compete in the marketplace?
No, but I'd compete. I'd compete in my
Easy.
community. I would compete in my community, and I'd be getting them cut price wheat in my community,
It's
and
a shame.
then that's how it works,
I
bro.
think you
Farmers markets, yeah. They're not competing with Tesco's. They're just fucking growing a bit of fucking veg and selling it, bro. I think you're being unrealistic with.
That's how they win Cannabis Cups, bro.
goes,
That's how they win the Cannabis Cup. They come up with a nice strain, they sell it, and it becomes popular, and they make money out of it.
Fair enough. But you're I don't know, man. I feel like
It's funny, yeah, that the medical marijuana, it's funny that the medical marijuana is patented, yeah. Listen to me, my brother.
African Asia would make any money.
Listen to me, brother. It's funny that medical marijuana is patented, yeah, and for you to grow that medical marijuana legally, it has to be a specific strain with a specific CBD and THC count, yeah. And this is how I know.
I just think everyone here is underestimating market forces. You need to take a step back and really look at who owns industries, who allows you to make money out of industries. It ain't the little guy around the corner, bro.
I agree with you.
Trust me.
I agree
Thank
with
you.
you.
Thank you.
But how is that? What is that? How is that against?
Before you call me an idiot and tell me there's something wrong with
How is that
listen.
against? How is that against
Bro.
decriminalizing something?
Because I'm saying that there's a great chance, as there is. I haven't said anything yet. Don't put your face like that. In America, look. First of all, it's so early in America to even tell. But one thing we can see, there's big companies clearly seeing the profits that are being made from cannabis.
Yeah,
what
like
makes
Britain.
you think? Right.
Britain.
So how do you think you would then be able to compete with that? Yeah, you could.
Maybe I can't.
Thank
But
you.
should I?
So this is
does
my
that mean
point.
that it should be illegal for me to do it?
I never
'Cause
said
I can't
that. No,
compete.
I never said that.
We're just talking about decriminalizing it, bro.
And I'm trying to say decriminalizing is not as simple as you're making out. It might get worse. Look at the alcohol and tobacco industry. You can make your own tobacco and alcohol. It don't matter.
I told you about the advertising. I told you where it was.
But there's no proof
Yeah.
that that's the reason why.
It is.
And
That's
besides,
why they're not allowed to. That's why they're not allowed to advertise anymore. And that's why consumption has gone down. Bro, stop being silly, bro. This is why there's no that's why all the packaging
Alcohol
is uniform
consumption
now.
ain't going down.
No.
Cocaine. How is cocaine advertised then?
The thing is, yeah, people don't
Increasing
respect,
consumption every day, every month. Who's advertising that?
people don't really
Okay.
respect the law, right?
Alright, Dro, what advertises Dro? You know hip hop advertises Dro. What makes you think that use wouldn't increase when hip hop is one of the most powerful genres on earth? Have you ever thought about these things?
Should we ban hip hop?
No, because
Should we
you're
ban
trying to say,
references of
don't
weed
try
in
it.
hip
You're
hop?
trying to say that alcohol.
What's the point you're making?
I'm making the point.
Alcohol and tobacco have definitely increased due to their advertising and it becoming made
Cannabis ain't
popular
advertised?
behavior. That's what I'm saying.
Cannabis ain't advertised?
Not to the same degree.
Are you mad?
not to
Smoke
the same
weed
degree.
every day.
Not to
Kids
the same
love
degree.
that shit.
I agree with you. I
Yeah,
agree with
thank you.
It is in the
Stop being
culture.
rude to me and agree with me, bro. Like, that's what it comes down to. You know that Dro has heavy cultural, like,
But you know, you
advertising.
accuse me of going all over the place
No,
from
it's
point
just
to
I
point.
couldn't follow you a bit.
But
You don't need to get rude to me
You think
because
you're
of that,
easy
man.
to follow.
But the thing is, the crux is
Maybe I'm
you
not.
said, listen,
Maybe I'm not. But you know, relax.
Never once did he say that he cares about it spreading or not. What he's saying is,
Maybe we should bring that in then.
okay, no one cares. Personally, I don't care whether a bunch of people smoke weed or 2 people smoke weed in the country. What I'm saying is, comparatively to every other thing that is legal in this country, it is significantly less harmful. You get me? So, therefore, it does not make logical sense to legalize something like alcohol and decriminalize something like weed that does not have a quarter of its effects?
Slaps a label on a community.
I don't know. I don't even think that's true in itself.
Do you think alcohol and weed are even tantamount to each other?
Cost to the
I'll
taxpayer.
answer it. I'll answer it.
Go on.
Yeah, just let me answer the whole thing. I don't want you to call me stupid because you don't.
You were stupid because you made a stupid
No,
comment.
no, I wasn't. No, I
You were
didn't.
stupid because you made a stupid comment.
I could
Sorry
say-
I hurt you and I apologize. for
Yeah,
being
thank
stupid.
you.
But you made a
Thank you
stupid
for
comment. That's why I
apologising
said
because
it.
we don't need to be rude.
That's
like
why I
that.
said it, though.
You get me? Maybe
let's
that's
go.
why there's no development in these arguments because people get a bit impatient because they do it themselves. They get
You're
a bit,
struggling
they
to
get a
keep
bit
up.
passionate.
We're carrying you in this. We're babysitting you through this conversation.
This conversation
You're-
changed so much.
You're,
You
you're
said at the
struggling.
beginning, you said at the beginning,
I'm
you
going to
should-
answer
you
that.
You're struggling. Go on, go for it, bro.
Go for it, bro. You don't put a good vibe, man.
Bro, my vibe was cool, bro. Like I don't
Yeah,
even.
but not like that. I'll answer that, yeah?
Bro, you're weak.
So,
You're
let's
weak.
look at
You're
alcohol.
weak.
Let's
You're
look at
weak.
alcohol.
You're weak in this thing.
What are the effects of alcohol? Heart disease, liver damage, and then you eventually die from these things.
And dangerous driving, people getting
Okay, yeah, and then there's the social effects. You know,
homelessness.
Marijuana is not addictive as well.
oh, bro.
No, it's important. It's important, yeah.
apologize.
Tobacco's addictive. Alcohol's addictive. Marijuana is not addictive.
The tobacco that when you mix it, they make
Neither
it, that's when you want
bacon,
more,
neither is bacon, anything. Let me just answer that. Yeah, alcohol, mostly physical effects, it has its social consequences as well. Tobacco, lung cancer, throat cancer, mouth cancer, physical things. Look at cannabis. Now, obviously smoking is bad for you, but forget that. Look at the psychoactive effects of cannabis. Someone can drink every day of their lives, and while they're drunk, they're fucked up. But I don't think that continues into their sober state. The real damage...
Continues into their what?
Hold on.
Sorry.
That's incorrect.
Well, maybe so.
No, it is
but hear me
incorrect.
out, maybe so. But the primary effects of alcohol are physical, the individual. Unless they're really out of control, they beat their wife and they murder people or whatever. Cigarettes, again, personal physical effects.
Yeah.
Cannabis, if it ever does have a bad effect, which you must admit,
I'm not saying it doesn't.
Good.
I'm not saying it always does.
no, but neither does alcohol. Neither does cigarettes. You get me?
But
right?
comparatively, they're not even in the same
Well,
league.
we'll get to the comparison after. But then,
They're not even in the same league.
okay, fine. And then if someone was to smoke weed as much as they drank or smoked, what would the effects be? It wouldn't be
As much as
physical,
they
it would be
drank, people smoke
psychological,
weed
wouldn't
way
it?
more than they drink.
It would be psychological,
Some
wouldn't
people
it?
don't
Okay.
drink and they just smoke.
What do you think about that?
Okay, psychologically, yeah. I know
You need
bare
to go
people-
to an event, yeah. Sorry, you need to go to an event where everyone is drinking. Everyone is drinking, yeah.
see what
yeah?
happens.
And then document your evening, yeah. And then go to 420.
This is why I sometimes say relax, because you're all over the place. We're talking about the long-term effects of each thing on people.
Okay, cool.
I
You're
hear
making
you. I hear you.
You're making some.
It's a good statement.
He's also your
Mate,
example.
I hear you. I hear you.
I don't want to use them. He gets
yeah,
offensive if I
Somebody
use
who's
them.
spoken a long time, what are you saying?
You're talking about.
He said it. I didn't even say it.
Wait, man, you're talking about long-term effects, yeah.
Yes.
First of all,
So
yeah,
weed. If we,
You made
what
one
kind of
statement.
effects
You
will we see
made
long
a statement.
term?
You made a statement that when someone smokes, when
told you, man,
when someone
earlier.
drinks, yeah, that effect doesn't carry on past that physical state. of
Potentially,
drunkenness,
potentially.
which is completely false. Because I know people personally. I've got family members
And with Joe.
personally.
And with Joe.
Huh?
And with Joe.
Let me start with it because you made a statement with the. So let me destroy the statement with the alcohol, then we'll come to the draw.
Sure.
So people with alcohol dependency have significant effects after they're sober. Some of them, their hands shake.
Oh, alcoholics. Yeah.
They can't keep still.
Liver
Other
damage,
people
alcohol
are secret
poisoning.
alcoholics where
Yeah.
they need a little. They have a little flask and they need it on a
Yeah,
daily
yeah, yeah.
basis. Man,
There's
don't
a lot of
teach us
alcoholics.
back in the
Crisis
day.
of the liver.
And what do you think about Dro? The long-term
Okay.
effects. What do you
Long-term
think will
effects,
happen?
yeah.
What do you
It can have some effect on some people's.
Slow. They get a bit slow.
I don't know about
a
the.
bit lazy.
Listen,
What do you lot think?
bro, you just asked me a question. Oh, one second. This is why you're gonna tell me about being impatient. You've been doing things like this the whole
do it
time.
to me as
you
well.
asked me a question.
Don't worry.
Yeah,
Continue.
I went to answer it. And you're like, bro. Allow it. Anyway,
Do I really sound like that?
argument.
Same spot.
The argument's good anyway, so I'm feeling it. Yeah. Personally, I think long-term effects on marijuana is different on different people. Yeah.
It is. You can't laugh at that, that's true.
You may see some effects
say
on
that
some
like
people's.
this.
On some
Exactly,
people's.
it is true,
Listen.
So why
This is
is-
variant. Yo,
That's not
King.
what you're asking the question,
Why?
you're answering it.
The variant is the different types of cannabis that they ingest in, and the different rates. This is
And
the
the age they
variant,
start
yeah.
in. And the long-term
Because you could be a
effects are-
long-time smoker of Thai weed. I guarantee you, brother, there ain't gonna be no effects.
Guarantee me, yeah?
I guarantee you, fam.
I got Jedi's
you,
guarantee
fam.
for that.
I guarantee
Let
you,
me ask
bro.
someone else,
Like,
'cause
bro,
you're not
hold
willing
on.
to tell me about the long-term
But I am.
effects.
But I'm talking about more. So
Tell me
just
then.
I'm talking about more. Just, bro. Come
careful, man. We're on a
If
straight.
I'm gonna go back to this mode, yeah, and you ain't gonna like it, bro. I'm trying, you know, bro.
Yeah, I am.
Alright, so hear what I'm
we're on
saying.
a straight
Long-
path of conversation. Why don't you just follow
I'm
it?
in the
What are the
conversation
long-term
talking about the
effects of
long
cannabis?
terms of. Bruv, I was just
literally
answering.
answering
Are
you,
you
man.
stupid or
It's
something,
different
fam?
with everyone.
Literally answering.
You dumb. I'm answering you, and you're stopping me. Bro, fuck you, bro. You're chatting shit, bro. You're chatting shit. No, go on. No, fuck it. Fuck it. Go on.
Don't you lot think
Brother
it's quite
chatting very
rude?
shit, bro. Nah, fuck
he's
this,
answering
bro. Fuck this.
But don't you lot think he's quite rude?
Nah, I'm not rude, bruv. I'm real. I'm real. You're real. You're real. You're obnoxious, yeah. And you know what? And you know the ridiculous thing. You're talking about weed, fam, and long-term effects. I was going to talk about the cognitive effects, and you are displaying. Do you smoke weed?
Let's go.
Do you smoke weed? Because you're not keeping up with none of this convo. We've been carrying you for the last hour, bro.
Maybe that's why I don't
And you got the cheek to stand there and be like, man, straight. We're having.
Why did you
Bro,
get so
he stepped in
offended?
to give you
Why are you so
subtitles.
offended
He
by
stepped in to give you subtitles because you clearly were struggling to fathom what we're all saying,
Let him
bro.
give the subtitles. So what kind of long-term effects are
Okay,
cannabis?
so cool. There's some people that have mental health issues due to cannabis, especially skunk cannabis, because the rate
it's
of
not
THC
regulated.
and CBD are not necessarily the same. There's other people that experience mild psychosis and paranoia and anxiety.
That's it.
That is a problem. What I'm saying
What
is,
else?
huh?
Stop there, man.
that's as much as my current knowledge. I know, yeah.
Now let's pull out some stats. Let's actually go.
What do you lot think
Let's go
about
to
that?
stats.
You think that's
Let's
true?
compare, innit? Let's compare. Long-term
Long-term
alcohol, long-term
has
marijuana. Let's compare. Let's just compare
That should
them.
be common sense. I shouldn't have to argue that shit.
I'm telling man, there's
No,
different
what I'm
types of
saying
weed.
is, like,
He don't even know there's different types of weed all of a sudden, man.
The important
Hear
thing
me?
is, yeah, that
Is everybody bunning
Rastas
super
won't have that
duper,
problem.
super duper skyscraper fucking 12?
Look, let's be honest here. Many of us
Some
here,
people just
yeah,
smoking
are
weed, some
long-term
people smoking
smokers,
ash.
yeah. Many of us here are long-term smokers,
Yeah.
right? Many of us are. So we got first.
All I have
we
is
got
your
first-hand
guarantee.
knowledge. Yeah, we got first-hand
You don't
knowledge.
have any
of
proof.
this.
No. What I'm saying
what
is,
we're saying-
what is your basis for saying we should decriminalize this drug? Criminalize this drug? Because you're saying we should criminalize it, and you furthermore said that fish should be stricter on it. So you're saying that, this is such a problem that we need to criminalize a whole bunch of people for the use and for the sale of this specific item.
But keep alcohol.
But keep stuff that is significantly worse legal. That's what I'm saying. It doesn't.
Before
it
we
doesn't match up.
criminalize marijuana, we need to criminalize McDonald's and KFC, bro. Yeah? I mean, I'm just saying, innit?
I thought I answered
We need to
that.
criminalize.
Can you
we
concede
need to
that
criminalize
there's
those
also-
big
wait.
£1. Imagine you can get a big bag of crisp and rare
for like a pound.
for £1, and then when you go to get apples and oranges,
He's talking about.
you can't afford it. You understand what I'm saying to you? This is what we're dealing with.
That's
This is
got
the,
alcohol issues, yeah. But no one's got weed issue big time. That's to fuck them up.
Wait, what?
No
Where's
one,
the
I don't know
fuck?
anyone
Bro,
with
do
big
you know what?
issues.
Out of
You got
everyone, this
alcohol
guy
issues, yeah,
seems
fucked
to
up.
stay on topic more than anyone else.
we never left the topic.
Plant, bro.
But you think
Maybe you
dimensionally,
have.
and the rest of us can think in 3 and 4 dimensions.
What
So
is
we
your-
understand when a man uses analogies, it doesn't frazzle their brain. When a man's giving you a metaphor, it don't make you go, oh, what are you talking about now? Man's just like, oh yeah, I get what you're saying. It's normal conversation. This is Speaker's Corner, bro. Come on, fam.
Sometimes you just gotta
You need
down
some
and
of my
listen.
energy, I think.
Now what? Thank you. I forgot.
You need a split.
Definitely big.
See, that's another thing. Weed ain't good for memory. So let me tell you where we was at, yeah?
I'm not even denying anything you're saying. I'm not even denying
It's not good
it.
for memory. Long term.
Although,
So you asked me, why do I feel like this?
yeah.
Now, what we've all just done is gone through 2 legal substances and 1 illegal. And we've all agreed that they all have terrible consequences and long-term effects.
Where's the high
Yeah.
in this? Where's the high? I'm just asking. You know, you said
I
that.
said there
other
was
drug.
eyes, I was strictly physical.
So why is that? Like,
You,
why is
tell
that
me
so
I don't keep up. Come
Wait,
on, man.
bro, continue.
So, thank you. Sorry, my bad.
Yeah.
Agreed. 2 ills in society, alcohol and tobacco. They're fucked. Why'd you introduce a third?
I'll tell you why.
The fuck,
I'll
man?
tell you why.
That's why. That's my.
Because you can't compare them.
Wait, I'll tell you
Because
why.
you can't
I'll tell you why.
compare
I'll tell you why.
But they're not.
No,
tell you why?
let me just answer that.
That's
tell you why?
That's why you can't compare them.
Remember
Can I
the
tell you
last
why?
Wait, wait, wait,
I really want to tell you.
And this is why we keep. This is why we keep trying to. This is why
tell
we
you
keep
why.
bringing them up. Sorry, my brother. Go on.
Because everything is an ill in society. Fast food is an ill in society. Alcohol is an ill in society. Now you have to compare.
Why introduce
No,
one more?
no, because what I'm saying is this ill
Or loads
more
more,
beneficial
according to him, 'cause he
or
wants
more
to legalize
detrimental
all
to
drugs.
society?
Right,
Wait,
but I
is it
have
more
one
beneficial,
thing.
more
There's
detrimental?
quite a lot of
I do. I want to
actually, listen,
decriminalize some
poisons in
drugs.
society.
Hey,
We
ignore
got-
it, man.
You want
Big
more?
man.
Bro,
We got loads.
bro.
You want more?
Bro,
You're ignoring exactly
we
what I'm
still
saying.
got coke. We still got heroin. It's
know what I'm
illegal.
saying?
We still got it. We walk out here now. There's people smacked up. You just said in the city. all them bankers and that, they're all coked up. You've said it yourself.
Yeah.
We're not getting rid of drugs. The war on drugs is failing and costing us money. We're hemorrhaging money, and we're not looking. And while we're doing that, we're not helping people become more educated. Yeah, and we're criminalizing young people that make choices when they're like 13, 14, 15, 16, and they're staying with records for the rest of their lives.
I already told you this earlier,
records for the rest of their lives for the
reason
consumption of a plant. This makes no sense. We're all trying to say to you, my brother, look, McDonald's is killing us. Yeah, Mr. Wong's on the corner is killing us. Yeah, Jack Daniel is killing us. Yeah?
Why introduce?
So how are we going to turn to Mary Jane and be pointing the finger to her and criminalising everyone for it?
I'll be honest, some people need it to relax as
Whatever
well,
has
yeah?
pros and cons.
Stress.
Many different
The food
Stress,
you
you know what I'm
eat
saying? It's
has
important,
pros and
I'll be
cons.
honest, it's important.
The stuff we drink has pros and cons. You get me? So I'm
Oh, yeah,
saying,
of cannabis,
are the
yeah.
pros of cannabis greater than the cons?
medical
Majority
marijuana.
of people seem,
In
and
the world.
the state of California and other places seem to believe that the pros are better than the
The
cons.
establishment all have shares in it as well. Google it, just make money out. All have
They
shares
can make
in
money
it.
out of it, but there's a whole.
Always been introduced also.
You understand what I'm saying?
Why are you stuck on
So-
the plant? Shouldn't we focus on this?
Yeah.
This
Fair point. Let me answer
Yeah.
that. Man, don't let America lead you. Don't let the market lead you.
I'm not
Do
talking
you know
about
what
America.
else is?
Because trust me, I've done weed way before America ever
All right,
made
but
it.
you're using the point about legalization in California. The thing is, bro, anything will be monetized in America. Man, they have far less stringent food regulation laws, and so do China. That's my point about earlier. Like, just because someone somewhere else has decided, oh, this should be legal, we shouldn't be, oh, that must be the...
No,
bro,
the reason why I point that...
America are potentially introducing one after the other after the other. Let me just finish. What you're seeing is an opioid epidemic in America right now. No one can disagree with that. Why? Because they just bit by bit chiseling away at drugs regulation, FDA regulation. He asked me earlier, oh, nothing's working. Why?
I think his legal highs is their main issue out there right now.
Maybe so.
Which one is
Earlier he said, oh, bankers don't get nothing done to them. That's the problem, because no one gets... Law is soft in this country.
We're talking about... No,
What do you
now
think
we're
should happen to
talking
a banker for sniffing coke?
This...
Go jail.
I forgot about that. Michael Gove,
Yeah.
Johnson.
Go jail
Yeah,
for sniffing
actually,
coke.
fuck it,
Yeah,
man,
you
fuck it.
Yeah.
Boris Johnson.
Do you know
So
why?
we're like one of them
Do you know
people.
why?
We're like one of them people before the 60s
I
that
personally
had
think-
suicide was illegal, right?
No.
It's the same kind of
So,
fucking mentality, bro.
about the corporate
Yeah?
thing, yeah? About the corporate...
It's the
so
same
you
mentality.
said...
You said America,
Who's the
and I
brother
responded
running
that.
for Prime Minister? That's why he admitted to taking...
So,
Yeah, that's... And you lot are cool with that.
We're not cool with that.
He
What
should
I'm
get
saying-
fucking arrested, bro.
you should get
Come on,
arrested
man, come on my
for
side.
taking coke 20 years ago.
Yo, let's stop
Yes.
putting peas
That
down.
sounded like
Get arrested.
That's supposed to be the leader of the country. He's got a law that says coke is illegal, and we're still voting for him.
This is the maddest thing. No one follows these laws. This is the rich can get away with
That's
it.
fucked up.
And do you know why? Because there's
Don't you
stupid
see? That's
laws.
my whole point.
Yeah, that's
Think
why we're saying
people
this
have
law.
become so
Guess
used
who's
to
suffering
drug
from this
use
law?
Because
Yo,
the
we're
law
on the
ain't being
same.
enforced.
We're on the same point. Who's suffering from this law? This is why we're saying
the
decriminalize
whole
it.
of
It's
society
us.
suffers.
It's us. It's the bottom of society.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah? Us. Yeah.
Definitely.
So this is what I'm saying.
Poor communities
if we
suffer the most from
if
alcohol,
we decriminalize it,
tobacco,
bro,
and drugs.
if we decriminalize it and start
So-
regulating it, brother,
Alcohol didn't help the poor community. How did alcohol help the poor
can you,
community?
if we decriminalize it, yeah, and we take the foot off the neck of the people at the bottom, and we start to regulate it,
Like alcohol.
yeah, and we start to regulate it, yeah, then
Say
at,
like
least,
alcohol
then at
and you're
least,
equating it
then
as
at
the same
least
thing.
people can pick up some weed and know what's
not
in
the
it,
same thing.
know how much. Listen,
It's not the same thing.
this you is fucking on his own thing. You just arguing for arguing's sake, fam.
You grew up
He
America.
just said
Yeah,
these
for
communities
argument's
are
sake.
being
You don't even know what you're talking
suffering
about.
the worst.
You know what you're
Bro,
chatting about,
they suffer from legal,
Who's in
regulated
jail?
substances like alcohol. So why is he trying to legal?
But why is
You
that
don't know what
bad?
he's talking about.
Why is the legal
You don't know what he's talking
bad
about, bro.
substances bad as well? So you can't say, oh, why introduce another ill when there's so many ills
Bro,
there?
you
It's
ain't been
bad, all the
listening.
ills.
I never
No,
said
you're
that
not
alcohol
listening.
should be
He's
legal.
repeated himself
No, but
15
here's what I'm saying.
times.
No,
You're not
here's what I'm
listening,
saying.
man.
That's somewhere else,
It's
bro.
selective
No,
hearing.
no,
You just want
but
to listen to
listen,
what
you offer data where decriminalization has what? We brought up an entire state that is now legalizing stuff. You're now saying, wait, forget about California, but we've given you a perfect example of a society that was once illegal that is now legalized it. Do you think America legalized it because it just wanted to? Or do you think an entire state full of pot smokers campaigned for years and years and years?
It's pressure for people, yeah.
Campaigned for years to decriminalize something that everyone was taking in.
It's democracy in action. A state full of pot smokers. You said it yourself.
What's wrong with that? What's wrong with a state full of pot smokers? What's the objection to that?
First of all, the UK isn't a country full of pot smokers. The city
Promise you it is. It is 100%.
What?
What? You're not a very agreeable person.
What?
No,
Anyway,
it
but
is.
what's your point?
Oh my
They made it
God,
legal. They
man.
made it legal.
They made it legal.
Yeah.
Who's employed by it?
I was trying to say that.
Who's employed?
Oh, sorry, go on.
Who's employed? Have they created jobs? Yes
There's
or no?
definitely increase in jobs, profit,
Okay.
local businesses,
So
yeah.
they've created jobs.
Facts.
Nah.
The money ain't the only thing in here, though. That's what I'm trying to say. Like I said, America will legalize anything to make money.
No, but what?
Like I said, they got an opioid epidemic.
You cannot
So
compare marijuana and opium.
I'm not trying-
It's a false comparison.
No, but you're trying to say the monetization of cannabis is a good point as to why we should do it. But I'm saying just because something can be monetized, it doesn't make it good.
100%.
So it's like fast food. I'm
No,
not.
100%. What I'm
That
saying
guy.
is, in
fact, everyone has been like, but you think alcohol at
You
fast
asked
food?
for
I
example,
never
where
said that.
you asked for example with decriminalization as well.
About 10 years ago, yeah? About 10 years ago. Didn't they downgraded to like a cat C?
It's B.
B.
They upgraded it. Didn't make any difference.
Yeah, yeah. No. It was a C, but then they downgraded
Hasn't made
it,
any difference.
And then they put it back up, didn't they? Yeah?
Yes.
Well, that shows you that they can.
But in real life, it has no effect.
But if they downgrade it to an A, then, you know what I mean? Then it will
I mean,
not
look,
carry-
I think what everyone needs to
Listen,
do.
are you on for the criminalization of alcohol? Yes or no? Do you want that?
No, because at the same
You have
time.
no basis for this argument.
No, hold on. Let me
You
say
have
the
no
rest.
basis for this argument. Unless you want to listen, if a state or a
Then let
country
me
says
finish,
we're going to
man.
criminalize everything that's licensed to us,
Bro, no one
yeah,
really
and
lets
we're gonna-
me finish, you
and
know.
we're gonna have like a standard. Then I can say, cool, we can get to that standard. But you don't. You're not. You're just picking and choosing.
What Jedi said earlier, before he got rude, is, bro, there are benefits to cannabis use,
Yeah.
specifically CBD,
Yeah.
and that can be regulated medicinally. But the reason I kept saying he's all over the place because he can't distinguish between decriminalization, legalization, and medicinal sanctioning. It's such, it's complex, bro. And he's just and that's why I can't really make my point properly. So, like with alcohol is completely legal, Now, if you're saying what should be done with weed, I reckon there is potentially a great way of medicinally decriminalizing it.
How's that?
It would have to be very tightly regulated, very. The NHS would have to do a big job.
What do you do with the millions
Hold
of
on.
people that
I'm not
smoke?
saying this is practical. This might be impossible. I'm saying potentially.
No,
so with alcohol, I'd have to say the same thing. I do not want it to be sold in every corner. But if it was to be legal and sold in some places, it would have to be very, very regulated. And let me just say one more thing.
It would only be medical purposes you would use alcohol.
I don't know, but I'm trying to make an analogy between
man is allowed to
cannabis
drink,
and
man should be allowed
alcohol.
to
That's-
I was going to ask you, are you consistent across the board? We're saying
Not really, because you have to take the substance on its own merits. Not all substance.
but we're
That's
talking
a
about-
dangerous argument. Not all substances are the same.
I'm not even
We're
saying
talking
all
about
substances
the
are
alcohol
the
is
same, or they should be
considerably
banned
worse.
in the same way. I'm
Good.
saying we were talking about ills, right? So alcohol, yeah. Like on trying to argue between alcohol and cannabis.
I wasn't doing
No, I'm saying for me, if
should avoid
if I
that.
introduce that,
Alright.
I think alcohol, yeah, is dangerous and it weighs on the NHS
100%.
in a crazy way. So if we were going to criminalize something like marijuana, which I believe should be,
You got to do it to
anyway,
alcohol. 100%.
alcohol and all the other stuff.
I'm with you. And that's why I just said
No, but you
that.
see the way he's criminalizing it.
Right.
It's different. He's standard with it.
Oh, you want it all
He's
gone.
standard.
All of it.
He's standard.
Same as
so I have to
weed.
respect that.
Weed, cocaine,
Alcohol.
legalized, all of that stuff.
I have an ally, finally. So let me ask you something.
No, you don't, because he's
No,
consistent
no,
with the
wait.
street.
Let him say it. I try to be, bro. I'm not always right. Let me ask you then. Now, practical action to make this so is very difficult to come up with. No one can do it, it seems. Drugs are a real fucking issue in the modern world, yeah? It's a terrible issue. And I'm not going to ask you what do you think, but what do you think could be done to make sure they all lessen?
Wait.
I just want to hear what he
Including
says.
alcohol. Including alcohol. though, in that
Yeah,
conversation.
sure. What do you think should?
To be honest, I haven't actually thought that deeply. It's quite a challenging thing.
It is, and you know what? Most people haven't thought that deeply, and they get rude to me because I come up with something. No, because I don't
because
like
you're picking
people
and
being
choosing.
rude to me,
You're
bro.
picking and choosing.
I ain't even done nothing wrong.
But
Forget the root. You're picking and choosing your standard. He's coming from a standard where he believes that anything that's
Everything.
harmful to the human body
Sure.
should be illegal.
Yes.
So that's one standard. Yeah? Anything that alters your mind should be illegal. That's the standard. That's not your standard.
It's not my standard.
At all, is it?
No, but because that's an easy argument to make. I'm trying to be a bit more practical. In an easy
There's
world,
a lot of countries that practically implement this.
Do you know what? Thinking about it, maybe some form of punishment for users and sellers.
Saudi Arabia got that.
Both.
No one's on drugs in Saudi. That's the
Or
thing.
not capital punishment.
No, sorry, yeah, not capital. But if you look around, like this is an easy fact to look at. Look around the world, different varying levels of drug use, different types of drugs, different communities, and depending. Hold on.
It doesn't work in a Western society where you allow certain things, and then if you have a society that's against an inclusive policy with everything, then it works.
No,
But you
because-
can't allow one of the ills and not allow
because-
and not allow something that's significantly less.
No, because there's varying levels of drug use throughout Western societies. London is the cocaine capital of Europe. That ain't some accident. This is because of the way that the law is enforced. You don't get done for coke anymore, bro. Man, need to wake up.
You don't get done for taking it, but you get done for selling it,
100%.
though.
No, for real, come. Do you know why? Because I got stats in my bag that show that possession for any drug has, while arrests have increased, sentencing and punishment has decreased hugely.
Wait.
Do you know why? Because there's so many people doing it, the feds don't know what to do.
Who are the main users of cocaine?
I don't know, probably middle class.
Class. And politicians.
And who's the main suppliers? Keep it real. I have to keep it real. So I'm not going to get into this identity thing. The point is, people do coke, people take it, but in any case, the sentencing of both possession and supply are dropping. And why? Because, bro, the feds don't even have money. The feds don't even have money. No, I'm saying, listen to what I'm saying. Arrests for supply are rising, sentencing and punishment for supply are dropping.
So what do you think that indicates?
The feds can't.
Or does that indicate that the prisons are so full because of these drug laws?
It's mad. Prison's not even affected.
I'll answer that.
Because people are drug use occurs in the jail.
And that's
How much
fucked.
toll you can make from shooting?
Brother, listen, one of my boys that I know is on Snapchat in jail, bruv, showing his illegal activity. He's done crime, got sentenced for it, and he's doing more crime while serving his time for crime.
Crazy. And some people would say that's because of the UK's terrible cuts to the public services. We need to keep it real and look at.
My argument is, jail doesn't work for everyone.
Maybe
you
not.
can't put a rapist next to a murderer next to a drug dealer. There's three crimes.
That's a good point. But in any case, let me tell you. But come, because I keep going into the camera. Come close.
I'm trying to not go in the camera.
Oh, fair enough. Well, I just want to make this point. If arrests are rising, but sentencing and punishment is dropping, what does you ask me what that indicates? What does that indicate?
The systems can't deal with it.
Yeah, but that indicates more people are shooting and more people are taking drugs. That's what it indicates. And what it also indicates that no one's getting done for it. So what are we going to conclude from that?
No, are you saying the years are dropping? Years that
Bro, most people don't even go to prison. And yeah, and of course the years are dropping as well. I'm not.
First of all,
I got the stats to back this, all right?
we have reckless arrests, we have reckless people going to prison for drug offenses.
No, you don't. You don't. I have to tell you, bro, you don't. You really, really don't. You have and even if that was true, the numbers of arrests correlate. So while the numbers of arrests, no, hold on.
You know why? Because drug arrests are stupid. Because you arrest, the stats are stupid and biased based on you arrest a person that shot in the left part, anything loud and probably doesn't have anything on smoking the
Maybe,
and the arrest. You understand?
You can't just, obviously, yeah, but you can't just disregard the stat. If murder rates went up, we would be like, oh no, this is just the way crime. No, bro, crime has to reflect something. And so if possession is increasing and supplying, but prosecutions are dropping, like I said, that indicates that there's much more use, much more shooting, but much less punishment. So out of that, what do we conclude? People are doing it because they know nothing's going to get done to them. The crime is not being enforced. When I was young, we knew, man, we can smoke weed anywhere, nothing's going to happen to us. If that wasn't the case and law was enforced, I wouldn't have smoked weed. Real talk. Kids wouldn't have smoked weed if they knew there was going to be real consequences. No, there's no evidence for that, man. In Saudi, go to any dark place where the law's really intense.
If you're talking about Saudi, you're right. If you're talking about Saudi, and where there's
look at any country where there's strict laws.
An inclusive system, that punishes, like you said, alcohol to weed to cocaine to any sort of other type of thing which the Saudi state deems as a vice to society. Your head will be on the chopping block for all of those things. So that there is a big deterrent for people.
100%.
But even that is not enough of a deterrent
Maybe
to exterminate it. So there's always going to be a number of people who still sell and still consume. But you can limit the detriment.
100%. That's my argument in a nutshell. So, bro, thank you for being here. Because, bro, I was surrounded by enemies. Yeah, 100%, man. And you know, the problem is, the reason I know this guy is unbiased because this guy doesn't smoke weed. If you make this point to weed smokers and drug takers, they get passionate. And I gotta like stand here and take abuse. You understand what I'm saying? We can't get to conclusions like this if people are like just like a bit like sensitive.
So hear what the brother's saying. He's saying the Saudi thing works because it's in a conservative type of right wing sort of conservative nation, and so it works. But in a nation that promotes like Western values and individualism, it's quite, it's seen as kind of authoritarian.
That's it.
If you put certain things in place. So then, how do you navigate that delicate line?
Bro, that's what I'm saying.
The country that decriminalizes drugs back in the West, it has significantly less.
Maybe so. But in any case,
a Western example.
The point that he just made is so true. I think we might be past the point of no return. If you go to most people, by default, they're for legalization. Most people, whether from any community, most people.
It's hypocrisy not to in this society.
I see what you mean. And that's the issue, bro, because most people who advocate it are either takers of drugs or people who aren't affected by drugs. I personally believe that the people who are actually affected by drugs in communities do not want to see drugs in their communities any longer.
You were initially talking about weed.
Yeah. Now we're talking about everything. You're right.
You need to stop comparing marijuana to big problem.
I think weed usage is much more common here, though. And
what's the problem with weed? You find this society?
Well, naturally, if more people do it, more people are susceptible to mental illness.
Okay. Now, having said that, there are benefits to weed as well. It's medical purposes.
Yeah, but that's not why people do it.
It doesn't matter.
And you wouldn't be against the medicinal purpose of the marijuana.
Strictly regulated.
What I'm saying is, compared to every other thing that we're different about, weed is not even there.
Maybe so, but that was never my argument.
What is your right, basically, in a society that allows someone to take a substance and enjoy the physical...
An illegal substance?
No. It allows people to take alcohol, which is a substance, and enjoy the highs of that substance. What is now your moral ground to say, no, you can't take weed?
Well, I guess I
for the same purpose.
I sort of touched on it earlier.
About significantly less harm.
Yeah, I touched on it earlier. In the current state of things, you're contributing to a major international crime organization. No, but you are.
Oh wait, so what, you're talking about
let me tell you
the
something.
setup of sellers and takers.
Of course, bro. People who do cocaine directly funded people like El Chapo in Mexico. Where do you think? Bro, all cocaine comes through the Mexican border. You know when
California.
Hold on. You know when Trump's talking about putting up a wall, he ain't just doing it because cocaine use in his country. It's because the cocaine use across the world influences the Mexican cartels to act how they do. It's no joke.
You think Trump's wall is from a moralistic standpoint?
No. But my point is that our cocaine consumption in the UK influences Trump's legislation in the US. We live in, we do, bro. We live in a globalized world. If this guy, bro, if my country starts to consume more oil, Saudi Arabia is affected. We're talking about a global trade of everything now.
What I'm
Man,
saying is, Trump doesn't give a shit about that.
Right, but my point is that it's part of his argument, the drugs. If there wasn't such a huge drug trade in Central America, he would have less of an argument.
Mexican rapists raping everyone.
Right, so but you mentioned that all the cocaine comes by way of Mexico, right?
I think vast majority. Vast majority of opium comes from Afghanistan.
But then it's not like, it's not your average dude in your hood that is shipping the cocaine and you know what I'm saying? So
correct.
It seems like we should be taking care of
borders
sort of cocaine and like weed. I think should be not even. To be honest, I would like to take all of it out. But in list of priority, would it not be things like cocaine, heroin, crack, those sort of things that we should nip in the bud and have harsh punishments for people both selling and consuming it, and then go on to think about marijuana?
Yes.
Because I think the long and short term effects of cocaine and heroin are probably more detrimental.
No cocaine, no.
I have to say,
I'm not a taker, so
before you do anything, you have to criminalize alcohol and punish severely for the use of alcohol.
If you criminalize alcohol, you're going to be right.
Yeah, but I think
but that's what the
I'm trying to be more practical. Alcohol is legal at the moment, and,
no.
and if I'm to be
as
practical,
long as alcohol is legal, you will never have a moral ground for decriminalizing anything. It's the most costly of all the substances to the society.
Yeah.
So as long as alcohol is legal,
you know what though? The reason why it's legal is because of the amount of duty that the government gets from the alcohol.
Yeah.
Like, it's stupid. If you actually, because I know, because I've worked with alcohol companies before. If you've ever seen invoices, how much you pay on things like whiskey, vodka, rum, £10 for a bottle sometimes, a 750ml bottle, it's £10 duty, and then depending on the way it comes in as well, it's different.
100%.
So government is never gonna they're never gonna, because it makes the money.
And this is my point. The profit motive has completely influenced the deregulation of alcohol. Now, let me tell you something. I don't know if you heard me earlier. I don't want to repeat myself, but back in the day, alcohol has always been legal in Britain, obviously. But what you've seen since, I think, the 70s is off-licenses far more common, because it's really easy to get an alcohol license. Licensing hours extended over the years. The legal sale of cheap, high alcohol beverages like White Ace and all these cheap things that all the alcoholics are drinking. Bro, that shit never used to exist. So do you see what I'm saying about the legalization of cannabis? What makes you think the same thing won't happen?
here's what I'm saying.
Cannabis, like alcohol was once controlled. You only get in pubs. Now you get it on every corner, and the poor. Let me just finish. The poorest communities are affected. I have no doubt in my mind that would happen to cannabis.
Can I make my point? When it comes to alcohol, when it comes to weed, personally, weed doesn't have nearly the same amount of effects to society that alcohol does. You ever see a man run a spliff and say, yo, let me beef the whole pub? It doesn't happen. Now, I'm not.
Yeah, but that will happen. Oh, I knew it. See, by default.
I'm saying that.
Do you think that drugs should be legal? See, that's the default perspective of most people.
Come take over everything from your humanity.
Man, say it straight. Man, don't listen to BBC. Man, don't listen to ITV.
Crime in the century is drug dealers, people that are robbing each other, knowing that these stocks and cash in somebody's house, and that they're going to be able to rob somebody that has thousands of dollars in cash in their house. You take away crime from the neighborhoods by legalizing it. There's nothing that proves why are you robbing.